The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
I want to give you guys a behind the scenes look at what we're doing, how this actually benefits you. And not only that, but how we can help you guys achieve more in your business, achieve more in your lifestyle, and how relevant these things are. And so I want to answer some questions today. That this is a special Q&A segment, and I just want to make sure that you guys get the most out of this group. Not only that, but you are, getting answers that you're not going to get from other free groups. Not only that, but you're also going to get insight that you're not going to get from other places. And my goal is to have you get so much out of this group that you actually felt like you were paying for. You'd have to pay somebody else to get what you need out of this. So let me pull up these questions from today. So question was, if you could ask me any question about lifestyle or business, what would you ask? By the way, if you guys are listening to this live, please just hashtag live. And let me know you are listening. If you're on the replay, just hashtag replay and let me know that you are tuning into this. But I'm going to go down through each question and answer these. So Tim Holloway, what's your motivation to show up day in and day out? So let me just say this, number one, motivation is overrated. It is something that people actually rely on too much. So I don't really rely on motivation. I rely on a process of what I call getting what I want. And what does that mean? That means that ultimately I know what I want every single day when I wake up out of bed. So there is no motivation. What's motivating is when I begin to show up every single day and move towards getting what I want. That becomes the carry momentum. And momentum is, to me, what builds motivation. And so when I begin to feel this momentum, when I begin to feel like I'm taking that one step every single day, that momentum starts building motivation. And those two things happen and get me to move forward. And so movement, we have motivation, we have momentum, and we have movement. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation. And I think a lot of times we try to put motivation ahead of everything else before we've before we've created movement. We expect motivation to happen. Before we've created momentum, we expect motivation to happen. And just what I've found in my own experience is movement happens, which turns into momentum, which then turns into motivation. And I believe it happens in those three orders. So stop focusing on motivation as the key first part of those and start focusing on what am I doing on a day-to-day basis to move forward. That's how I start getting momentum. And then what happens at that point is we start getting motivation and continue getting motivation to continue to move forward. And so that's ultimately what is going to drive me every day is like, listen, I know what I want. I know that I have to move to get there. I know that the only way to create momentum is by moving forward. And I know the only way to really truly be motivated is to take those steps forward and create that momentum every single day. And so that is really how I stay motivated. Now, how do master marketing to get a steady flow of clients? How to master marketing to get a steady flow of clients? So number one is you must understand what it takes to get a client in your business. And there's really like three paths. There's, a referral based path, there's a kind of free marketing path, and then there's a paid marketing path. What I really believe most business owners know is the referral path, and they don't know the paid path, or let's just call it an organic marketing path, or maybe a non-traditional non-paid path. Is we first must understand what goes into acquiring a client, which is, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis to attract a lead into my business? What am I doing on a day-to-day basis to get into a sales conversation? What am I doing on a day-to-day basis to get in front of the right people? And I really believe that every business has a predictable way of doing this, but because most business owners are caught up in scarcity, most business owners don't know what that actually is. And so therefore, we struggle with getting a steady flow of clients because, we expect referrals to happen, which is great. If you have a referral driven business, then that means you have a great fulfillment process. And so inside of that, there is a bigger issue. If you have referrals coming into you and you're not doing some type of paid marketing or some type of strategy beyond that, you're doing yourself a disservice. That means that there's a lot of people out there missing out on your work. And so the first thing we must master is how we get leads, where we get them from, how to get in front of people, how to ask people to get into sales calls, how to get on calls and actually make sales. And then also just how to understand that flow in our business. So understanding that, hey, if I talk to 20 people on a day-to-day basis, my job is to try to convert 5 of those into a yes, which is a sales call, or, maybe I'm inviting them into my group, or maybe I'm inviting them into something else, then to get on, 2 to 3 sales calls a day where I'm pitching something that I'm going to help them with. And then from that, I can begin to really understand my clients' problems, how I solve them, how I help them at a deeper level. What is the first step in scaling your business? Well, the biggest thing is you must already know your marketing, your lead system, your sales process. You must already understand how to grow your business. You must understand, your offer and before you decide you want to scale. And so scaling your business is a predictable formula of what it takes to say, go from making, 10,000 to 20,000. It is a predictable formula in doing that. And so with that, the one thing I want you to understand is that you can't scale something that is not already proven to work. And so before I go into scaling my business, before I go into scaling any system in my business, I must have to prove that it already works. I must have it proven that, say, okay, if I want to scale from 10 to 20,000, it should just be a mathematical equation. It should just be about, can I actually fulfill on this amount of people, and really understanding what is it that you're selling? What is it that you want to scale? Is it scaling the fulfillment? Is it scaling the marketing? Is it scaling the sales so that you can deliver more of this to your clients? And that's really where you have to think of this, is like, you're going to scale step by step in your business. You're not going to scale your entire business all at once. It's going to be piece by piece. But you have to have a proven system first before you go decide to scale anything. And I think that may be the bigger thing is, The first step in scaling is having a proven system or proven model that's already bringing in a consistent amount of money before I can double down and double that. The other thing, hey, if I wanted to double my income, where should I start first? So very similar is like have a consistent revenue stream you're doing, have a predictable way of getting that, and then doubling that just becomes a simple equation into, taking your business to the next level. So if I want to go from 50 to $100,000, I have to really look at what is the predictable things that I'm doing. How many clients did I need to get to $50,000? So how many clients do I need to get to $100,000? What is my offer? And what is my fulfillment? Can I actually fulfill on $100,000 of people? Or what are the bottlenecks that are going to come up in my business to try to fulfill on that? How to grow the business while maintaining time and freedom. So I think the biggest thing in business, the biggest mistake we make is trading in time for money. That is one of the first ways that we can take away freedom. We can take away time in our business is trading in time for money, and going more to a program-based model, to where, people are paying for our expertise versus, paying me per session, per service, per hour, because eventually those are things that take away our time and freedom. And so that's one way. The other way is, having a clear, hey, I get off work at 6. When I get off work, I'm off, or I get off work on the weekends. And when I'm off, and I don't check my phone. That is one way. The other way is also training your people on your team to be able to do some of the work for you when you're like, hey, I'm going home at 6. Can you take over this, and this? Or I'm going to not be available on the weekends. Being able to train people to take over for that part of your business while you're off, so you can actually have more time, have more freedom. And that's one of the things that we really teach inside of our program is like, hey, how to delegate, how to eliminate, and how to automate many of the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because one of the things that takes away our time and freedom is that we're doing a lot of tasks that we could easily pay someone $12 to $15 an hour to do, which ups our pay per hour and gives us back more time and freedom to focus on the things that we really want. The other thing is how you got started as a business owner. What was your daily blueprint? So how I got started as a business owner was way back 2007. I started a personal training facility that was like 1,900 square feet. Didn't really know exactly how my business was going to go, but on a day-to-day basis, my focus was always in outreach. And back then it was, door-to-door business stuff, door-to-door, handing out business cards, different things. But I think at the end of the day, you could even take that to today and say, well, listen, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. How many people am I talking to on a day-to-day basis about my business? How many people am I interacting with on a day-to-day basis that they know what problem I can help them solve, and really focusing on that. And that has always been a huge emphasis in any business I've ran is being able to communicate with people on a day-to-day basis. And then my daily blueprint, obviously when you first start a business, it's a little bit different than it is now. But I would say for anybody starting a business, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis to talk to your ideal client? And that may be the biggest thing that you could do is how many people am I getting in front of, talking about my business, talking about how I help solve their problem, talking about, who I can help, getting around other people who I can partner with. And those would be kind of the main things for that. And guys, these are just some of the questions I got today. But I wanted to make sure that we covered this Q&A episode because this is something I want to start doing every Monday. So throughout the week, if you see questions or you want to ask stuff, I'm going to make a thread that's for the Q&A episode. You guys can post these up inside our group and you can get these answered on a week-to-week basis and grow your lifestyle and grow your business going forward. So we will see you guys next Monday. This Wednesday is the business call. We have a special episode with a brain performance expert. where we're going to be diving in deeply to the brain and how to really optimize your life, brain, and sleep. And I'm super excited for that episode. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse.